every night, Carlos and Jay, alright. Talking love so bright under the studio lights. Dating tips galore, they're never a bore. Laughing till we're sore, tuning in for more. Love in black and white, they keep it loose and tight. Putting love back in sight with every funny bite. Relationships they break, from real to all that's fake. These guys never flake, always make you stay awake. Love in black and white, Carlos J take flight. Keep your love in mind so right, every single night. Through laughter, tears and fears, they've gotten us for years. With jokes and all that's dear, our love's clear. Through laughter, tears and fears, they've gotten us for years. With jokes and all that's dear, our love's clear.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Love in Black and White, where we're gonna put the love back in you, right? I'm one of the hosts, Big Irish Jay Hollingsworth, and as always, we have the Coco co-host, the Black Don Juan, the Ebenezer, I don't know. Part-time famous. I don't know. I was trying to find something. Part-time famous, full-time comic, part-time famous, full-time funny. Jesus.
It's all right. It's all right.
Carlos Anthony.
Yeah, in the building. We're glad to be back, man. We missed a week, so we back in the building.
We are, and we have a great we have an update that we can start with that right away. First, shout out to the people in the chat: Victoria, Sandy, the other 950 people. I'm just saying hi to Sandy and Victoria right now. We'll get to the others another time. But thanks for tuning in.
You want to start with it, or you want to end with it?
We'll ask the chat. Do you want an update on the neighbor? Or do you want that at the end? Sandy,
let's get some more people. So I think it's going to be some more people step in the room, and they probably want to get the catch up. So let's put this on the back end.
Okay, we'll do it on the back end. All right. Yeah. I don't need a nap. I slept great last night, and Carlos and I were just talking about that because I'm finishing a sucker. That's why I got like shit over here in my mouth. I was chewing on a sucker. Anyways, oh, and he's back. And he's back.
That was weird. Yeah, that was weird. I should just shut down. All right, go ahead.
I don't know. I'll kick that one from the studio. Kick that guest. Yes. Okay, we're good. He might just be taking one a nap. Yeah. No. What was I know we didn't do it last week. What was going on? Do you remember?
With what? I missed because it cut out right when you started.
Oh, why we didn't do the episode last week?
Oh, both of us was busy. Yeah, we both had shit going on. So yeah,
that's right. Right.
Whenever we miss, it's always for a good reason. We just don't take time off just to be taking time off.
Exactly. And if we can do a 30-minute, we'll probably would do that. Like just do a short one. But if we can't even do like 30 minutes, then we probably aren't going to do it. I mean, and also, I know with the membership that everybody pays. Oh yeah, that's right. Nobody pays anything, so don't fucking worry about it.
More people to show up. We here.
Yeah, and just a little insight. Whoa, I think I just knocked my mic out. Little inside ball.
What the fuck is going on, man?
I'm losing my mind. I'm fucking lost my mind. I almost just broke my fucking teeth. Inside ball, I was going to say, working on trying to pump up the HWP and this and like, you know, production and clips and everything, really trying to hit it. And also the podcast Boo. I don't know what's going on, Victoria. I promise you I'm not tired. I'm not on drugs yet. But that's what I was saying at the beginning, when we were in the waiting room before we started this. Carlos yesterday was fucking dead tired, and but he's a fucking soldier. He's a soldier for this game. He we met up at Wise Guys, did the open mic, and then he had a show that we went to, and then I left the show because I couldn't see my good friend perform to an empty room.
And he left me, is what he's trying to tell y'all. He just left me. He just left me there.
And the way I got out of it, because it's just comics in there. So I told Gator, these comics, Gator is a comic here in Vegas, and our buddy Kirk McHenry, who's a great comic in his own right. I told them, I was like, I'm gonna just fake a call. So I grab my phone. I go, what? Hold on, I gotta take this outside. And they were like, "You fucking lying motherfucker."
Then he hit the wrong door trying to leave. He hit the wrong door
I was trying to get out there quick.
To leave out the back door, and they was like, "Nah, that door doesn't work." So he had to walk back in front of the stage where the host was on there starting the show. So it was debauchery at its finest.
It was what we do. All right, let's get into some love and black and white topics. By the way, thank you, Carlos, for adding these in here.
Hey.
Okay. Have you ever had a woman tell you that their man didn't want them talking to you? Oh, man. I'm trying to think. I know it's had to have happened, whether they told me this or not. I'm trying to think of a girl that I was like, oh, actually, yeah. I actually just had it happen recently. This is crazy. I was going up to Seattle, and this girl I used to work with, Carol, we worked together for like 10 years, and this is probably 30ish 25 to 30 years ago, when I worked at Verizon. We worked together. Anyways, I was so we're friends, but I was telling her that I was like, yeah, I was going to be in Seattle. I can get you some tickets if you want to come to the show, bring your boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And long story short, she was like, I don't think I should go because, my boyfriend knows that we never dated. We never dated or anything like that. But she's like, he knows that we used to work together and stuff and that we're friends. And I don't think I should. I was like, what? I go, I'm in, I live with my girlfriend. Or like, I'm like, what? I was just like, all right, I'm not gonna try and like fucking talk you and your boyfriend into coming to the show. You don't want to come to the show, it's fine, or whatever. It was fucking weird. It was just
did she explain why though? Like other than that vague.
No,
she was just like, hey, I don't think it'd be a good idea to bring him.
No. So I was just like, all right, I don't know. But yeah, it has happened. I mean, and I'm trying to think of a more like if it was like a girl that I was like that I liked, or vice versa. I don't I know there has to be, but I can't. Hey, what up, Guyanese gal? What's going on? How are you doing? Co-host, that's Carlos. You can see it down below where it says comedian Carlos.
I just hold on. Where is it? There it is.
Yeah, there you go. Over.
No. Yeah, I try to figure it out. It's all good. It's all good.
That's Carlos Guyanese gal. Have you had that happen to you recently?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm gonna say probably within the past couple of months, and I don't know what maybe brought it. What made me think of it? I think because I saw that dude, and I was like, all right, man, you don't know that I know that she told me that. Like she was like,
you saw the dude that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they told her that, but she and I, it's the same situation. We never dated, we never talked like that. It was never on some I'm trying to get with you or you trying to get with me tip. And then she was like, yeah. So we just started kind of just talking in general on social media. She was like, yeah. So I ain't gonna say his name. Was like, yeah, it's weird because he told me never to talk to you. And I was like, what for? Like, I mean, why? Then I thought about it. It was like, oh, because they was dating and you was a fucking lame. So you didn't want her to see what a real man. No. I was
You,
like,
he's probably heard the stories about the prowess of the Carlos penis and the stalkers and the fucking power of the
I
pee.
don't know what he's heard, but needless to say, apparently he did tell her that. And I was like, but then I know this guy, so I was like, that sounds like some shit he would say because again, he didn't want. Anytime I think anytime a man tells you not to talk to another guy is because of his own insecurities. And so I think that's his thing of saying, hey, if you find out that this guy's really solid, then I'm out the door if y'all start talking because he's a fucking lame. And I'm just calling it like I see it.
Yeah.
So, but that was just an interesting thing she brought up. I was like, that's interesting.
Now the flip of that, I'm trying because I've Angel and I have talked about this before, and I don't know why, I feel like maybe I was wise beyond my years at the time, but I've always had a thing where I always try and look at it like if the roles were reversed, how would I feel? And then I try and act accordingly. So I try and think of like, let's say there's a girl I'm dating, or we'll say Angel. Let's say I'm Angel being my girl, and let's say there's some dude that we don't even have to say that they used to date. We'll say it's a guy though that has always liked her, always had a crush on her, and made it very clear that he's trying to get with her. But see, knowing Angel though, she wouldn't go hang out with him, like so it wouldn't even come up. So I think because Angel's kind of the same way, where we both are, like we take into account each other's point of view or feelings, or how would you want or what would you want in this if the roles were reversed. And so it's kind of the same. Like I wouldn't put her in a position where she would have to tell me like, hey, I don't like you hanging out with that girl or whatever, and vice versa, so I don't think it would come up. Have you ever had that where like a girl you were dating, like maybe you guys aren't serious or official yet, you're digging her, she's digging you, but there's another dude but see, I already know though, because I don't think that's in our character to tell someone as an adult you can't see this person.
No. I mean, because here's the bottom line to that. And my mentality has always been, if you could take her, she was never mine. So, and if that's the case, then why am I concerned with what another man does if I'm taking care of business on my end? And if I feel like I'm taking care of business on my end, then and you feel the need to go somewhere else, then go somewhere else. Then that's cool. I applaud you for that. So, ain't no harm, no foul.
Now, okay, well, let's. I want to, because this is more of a curiosity thing of how you are with those scenarios. So let's say that is a scenario, and this girl, for whatever reason, she finds interest in some other dude, and she goes about her way. How do you react with that, or how do you deal with that? I know how I am, and I'm curious how you are in a situation like that.
I mean, I've had it happen where I was dating somebody or hanging out with somebody, and then she chose somebody else that I didn't have to know him, but it just chose somebody else in the midst of us hanging out or whatever. I mean, it depends on my level of interest.
Right.
If I'm mildly interested, I'm gonna be like, oh, well, shit, charge it to the game, shit happens. But if I'm all the way into her, then I'm gonna be hurt about that because you're investing time and your energy into getting to know somebody, and they couldn't be honest enough to be like, hey, well, shoot, not only am I talking to you, I'm talking to somebody else, and I decided to go the other way. Then I'm gonna be hurt by it, but I ain't gonna be. That might be a day of, oh, that's fucked up. And then I'm moving on with life. We too grown, especially right now. We too grown right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're really grown. Like, especially in the next few months,
I think you're growner.
Really grown.
I don't even think growner is a word, but we're gonna throw it on there just for you. But yeah, at this point in life, man, it ain't even that serious. It's too many people in this world, and if you have the even in the U.S., if you have the means to travel outside this country, it's too many people in this world to be messed up by one.
True. I've always like I mean, I'm pretty much friends with everybody that I'm in good terms with anybody that I dated that was like my girl or whatever. I there's nobody that I can think of that would be like fuck Jay, or that I would be like fuck that person, it just, I don't know. but in scenarios where if somebody hurts me or whatever, or I like in that scenario, a scenario like that, I I've never been the kind of person where like, oh, I want to get revenge or like fuck that. It's like my emotions I like shut off like to them towards them. You know, I'm like
Mhm.
kind of like what you were saying, where it's like, all right, well, it is what it is, and then wish them the best. But I don't. They kind of in a sense like cease to exist to me. Not no, not
Absolutely.
like I don't wish them any harm. I don't wish ill will or anything, but I'm emotionally I'm done. And once I get, because I've had situations where I've dated someone where they did do something that hurt me, and I shut down, and it's hard
Mhm.
to get back in my good graces. And I know it's a trip like shit from your childhood that affects you, that at the time you don't know how it's going to affect you,
Right.
like, but I know like from my relationship with my mom, and like her threatening to put me up for adoption, award me to the court, shit like this, that it's like uh I know that there's been trust issues with women, and
Mhm.
so if I get hurt, I just shut it off, like where I'm like, okay, you're not going to hurt me anymore. It's shut down, and we'll be, and like if I see him out, I'll be like, hey, how you doing, good to see you. But
Absolutely.
they can never get back to where I'll get to that level of liking them or being in love with them again. It's like I shut it off, you know.
Well, I've definitely told probably every woman that I've ever dated seriously that I'm mental first. I am
Mm.
mental first. I don't, damn the physical that comes and goes. But if you lose me mentally, it's a wrap because I'm gonna put everything I got into it. So after that, once the mental is gone, I'm out. So
Yeah.
ain't no recovering from that. And I've had plenty of chances, giving people plenty of chances to be like, all right, we can make this work, but yeah, it's an interesting head space to be in sometimes.
Now, is your mom and dad still together?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, they're celebrating their 54th or 55th wedding anniversary Saturday.
Woo!
Saturday.
Oh shit! Congrats.
Yeah.
That's
So
dope. And what's a trip is I've always said, for me, like girls that I've dated, that I seem like that I'm attracted to or that I get along with really well. I've always said it's one of two things or both. Is women whose parents are still together, and or if they grew up with brothers.
hmm
And because I think girls that have brothers, they kind of accept guys as being guys, so to speak, and they are a little more I don't know if I say strong mentally. That might not be the right verbiage, but they kind of get, if they have brothers growing up, that they kind of get how like guys can be, like,
yeah,
and
they have
so
a different perspective. They have a
yeah,
first hand perspective of what men do
yeah.
because they see it through their brothers. So yeah, I can definitely agree with that for sure.
Yeah, it's just I've noticed that in like in my years of dating, and Angel has brothers, and yeah, and yeah, it works out great for me and Angel.
Yeah, yeah, shoot. I mean, hell, like I said, I was married once before, and I look at my parents now because I just thought about that the other day, especially with them coming up on their anniversary. I'm like, man, that's a long time to be with one person. But we've had conversations. I talk with my parents almost every other day. My dad definitely daily, probably. And I've seen the ups and downs, and it's work. It's work, but
Oh
they've
yeah.
made it. They've made it this long.
Now, how do you know how your mom and dad met?
They met in college. They met in
Oh,
college.
okay.
Yeah, they went
That's
to the same college because my mother was from Tennessee, my dad was from Little Rock, and they wound up going to Philander Smith College in Little Rock, and that's where they met.
that's great. Let's have them on.
Huh?
I
What'd you say?
said let's have them on,
Yeah,
and you
right.
go, uh,
Oh, man, they would do it. My daddy would definitely do it.
hey, I'd be down if you want. I
Yeah,
mean,
we still
it's a
can't make
matter
that
of figuring
happen.
it, getting it all set up, but yeah, that'd be great.
Mhm.
All right, let me go to the next thing we have here. Demanding something in a mate that you aren't willing to work for yourself to earn. Oh, it's good. What, these dogs? Can you hear these dogs barking?
I just heard that one that time.
They're fucking going on crack out there. Uh, Demanding something in a mate that you aren't willing to work for yourself to earn. Do you have an example?
I mean, I guess again, I think this kind of goes back to one of our first, the first probably episode is where people have these financial expectations that you're supposed to provide all these luxuries to me, but I'm not willing to get off my ass and work for it myself. I just think that it should be handed to me, and that could be men or women. It doesn't have to be. It's not
Right.
specific to a woman being a gold digger or nothing like that. So, but I've seen again, because I'm out in these single streets. I see this quite a bit, that there are a lot of people that are just willing to really kind of put certain demands on people. And then you look at them and they're doing less than half of that stuff to get it for themselves, which is very interesting.
Yes. Yeah. And like, I'm trying to think of an example of, yeah, or even if it's on my end, like, or if I've expected something, but I'm not doing it on myself. But again, like, I always go back to that thing about, like, if the roles were reversed, how would I, want? So I like to think that I'm not like that, but uh, I'm trying to think of if there's anybody I dated that oh, you know what? And we actually, this was not ever anything serious. I met a girl. This is God, probably 5 or 6 years ago. I matched with a girl out of New Jersey. I think I did like a gig in Jersey, and I was on the dating apps at the time, and I matched with this girl, and we started talking, and she ended up we ended up like meeting in Arizona. She was out in Arizona for work, and I was doing gigs out there, but that was about it. We never. But I remember when we were talking, she was like, she had it was like it almost like bugged her that I did stand up. That was my only income, that I wasn't doing. Like, I didn't have a day job. Like, she was worrying about job security and all this other shit, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. This is what I do. I'm like, this is what I do. This is how I pay my bills. I don't know. It's not going to change. I'm not going to fucking get a 9 to 5 anytime soon. So I don't know. And yeah, it was just always weird. She was like ex-military, and I forget what she did. But yeah, I think she worked in like corporate America and stuff. And so, but I get that. I mean, I get it in the sense of like, I think we've talked about this before. It honestly, like, the first probably 5 to 10 years of stand up, it still was hard wrapping my head around, not because I came from a 9 to 5. I worked corporate America before stand up, and so corporate America, you have a constant check every 2 weeks. You have sick days. Your check's going to be the same. You have vacation, all the benefits, all this shit, and it really took a long time for me to wrap my head around, like, oh, I don't have any of that shit. I gotta hustle. There's gonna be months where I'm making more than usual, and there's gonna be months that are gonna be dry, and I gotta figure it out. Yeah, that was one, probably the biggest thing, adjustment in stand up, is going to stand up. Sorry,
Here's the thing. People, I think there's a difference between expectations and demands. I think everybody should have some form of expectations from someone that they're dating. But when you start demanding certain things, especially if you aren't willing to match that, then that's where I think it becomes an issue. It definitely becomes an issue for me. I don't want to be with anybody who's demanding something and I'm looking at you sitting on your ass. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, yeah. Oh fuck. Have you dated someone, maybe it's probably back when we were younger, that you, at the time that you met them or started dating, they weren't working?
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, my wife,
Oh, okay.
my ex-wife,
Yeah.
ex-wife, she wasn't working. And when we got married, she may have worked one job, I think, but yeah, she was like more or less like, hey, it's all you. You got it. But so, but she came from, and again, that's why I have to understand too where I got her from, or where I, was, when I say that, I mean her dad was a multimillionaire. So,
Oh,
she came from that type of environment where you like, hey, well, shoot, I'm used to a man taking care of everything because he's got it. And then when you start being like, hey, well, shoot, I'm out here working 2 or 3 jobs. Matter of fact, that was when first time I lived here in Vegas. I was doing stand up. I was working at an insurance company, and I was driving limos all the same time. It was a lot. It was a lot to make sure things got taken care of, and that was during the first bad economy during that time. So it was rough. It was painful, but I'm not doing that shit no more.
Dude, I had a buddy. I'm not gonna give names of the people, but I had a buddy that we were bad influences on each other when we were kids, like, you know, in high school and stuff. But he was dating this girl, got her pregnant, and she was. You'll probably notice as I'm telling this, I'm searching for words, so I'm not giving away who these people are, right? But this girl that he got pregnant, her dad was like extremely rich, like sports team owning type rich, right? And so he was like, he was like, he hit the jackpot. He thought he was fucking set for life. And then this dad fucking had them do a background check on my buddy and found out, hey, get out of there, dog. Found out that like, you know, I think he had like shoplifted or, you know, found out about his credit, all this stuff. So he basically said to his daughter, he's like, you can marry him, you know, and all that, but you will be cut off financially from me. And so my buddy couldn't marry. They didn't end up getting married. The dad was like, nope.
But that's weird because what the dude doesn't have any bearing on what he does and what he does for his daughter. That's weird.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, you're welcome to marry him if you guys love each other. Yeah, if he loves you, fucking yeah, get married. You just financially, you're not getting anything from me, because he was like, I don't trust that guy having any type of access to any funds that I have. You know, obviously, I wasn't there for the conversation. I'm giving you like a generic breakdown, but that was my understanding. Was pretty much that's what it was. What it was is the guy's
but
like,
here's the fix to that, and maybe I don't know enough about it to speak intelligently on it. Why don't you just get a prenup short in? That's where a prenup comes in, where you like whatever you came with is what you came with. Whatever you leave, that's what you leave with, and be done with that. Versus her daddy getting involved. That's a mess.
I know.
But the fact that she was like, yeah, nah, I'm not going to be able to do this either.
That tells you everything you needed.
She's like, I love you, but I don't love you that much to lose my inheritance.
Sandy put a comment up here. I watched a movie called Dating in Atlanta this week on Peacock, Amazon Prime. It's part real discussion between men and women, part skits, and it's very interesting. Can you put in the chat, Sandy, like what was the thing that you remember or that caught your attention? And also, I'm putting it in the chat right now. As we're talking, so we have an email. So if there's questions that you want a guy's point of view, both a single guy, a committed guy, and then also Carlos, he's single now, but he's been married. You know, you can email questions to lbwpod at gmail.com. That's lbwpod at gmail.com, and we'll put it up on as one of our topics on the next podcast. And we'll give you a shout out too.
Up here because I want you to address Victoria. She said that lady that you met out in Atlanta, so she could, in Arizona, she could whoop your ass.
No, she was short. I did kick the shit out of her. Plus, I used to teach MMA. I could probably handle myself against.
Yeah, email us. Yeah, definitely email us topics. We have topics, but we want to hear, especially from a lady's perspective. As I know, it's a lot of stuff that y'all probably want to know, and we're here to drop the real information on this stuff. So let us know what you want us to talk about.
And also, I think both. I don't want to speak for both of us, but I think we both are curious. Like, is there things that you've always wanted? You're like, I wonder. Like, I've always wanted to ask a guy this, or how do guys feel about this? Bring it on. I mean, I know a lot of times you can do it in the chat, but you may forget it. But if you in the moment, you can just fire off an email to lbwpod at gmail.com.
And there you have it.
Oh, here we go. Sandy said about that show, Dating in Atlanta. They were discussing tolerance for cheating, being with broke men who live with their parents, women who will allow another woman in a relationship of those women are giving it. Wait,
I'm gonna say if those women
Women who will allow another woman in the relationship if those women are giving up money, etc. Okay, all right. I'll check it out.
Let me tell
I'll be
you
interested
something.
about that.
I lived in Atlanta 3 different times, and all of that is a problem in Atlanta. It is a cesspool of foolishness going on in Atlanta, especially now you enter the, let's call it what it is, you enter the gay men and the undercover men in Atlanta. Atlanta, man, is rough. It's a rough out there. So I'm sure that is a very interesting documentary or whatever that is. I'm gonna check that out too.
Yeah, we can get some topics from it too for the podcast. When you were in Atlanta, I'm sure. But did you ever get Jay Reed's joke? It kills me about the aggressive gay dudes in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, I got a joke about that. That's where something special comes from. Yeah, I don't know if you ever heard me. I'm sure you probably heard me do it. It's been a long time since I did it, but yeah, something special came from that, from living in Atlanta.
Dude,
So
I'm trying to think. Like I think I might have mentioned it on this before, but I had a gay stalker that was fucking dude. Like he's messaging me on Facebook, and it would just. And it like like it was a little flirtatious shit at first, and I kind of just ignored it. And like I would, if he was asking a question, like something related to comedy, or if I was on tour or whatever, I would answer that and not acknowledge like the little comments. But then he just fucking put on like a hardcore press, like how big's your dick and all that. I was like, bro,
wow,
I'm not fucking. I'm gonna have to block you. You keep with this shit. I was like, I feel like a woman. That's the guy.
Right.
No means no, man. Fucking,
right.
I'm not gay.
That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, they very aggressive for sure.
Sandy said, "Yep, Carlos. One of the guys was gay and said nothing to the group until near the end of the show when the DL topic came up. God damn."
I mean, you read that from Victoria, and then I'll come back.
Because Atlanta's where the players play.
I have gay friends in Atlanta, and they told me that all the time. It was like, you'd be surprised who is on the down low in Atlanta. So I'm like, no, I really wouldn't, honestly, at this particular point. I don't put nothing past nobody, especially in Atlanta.
Dude, I was gonna say, maybe I shouldn't say his name, but he won't give a fuck. I used to tell it. I wrote a joke about it, but my buddy Pablo used to be my boss, and then I left the company that I was working at, and we were just friends. But Pablo was gay, and he was telling me this story one time. He went out, him and a bunch of his gay friends. They went out, and there was a guy with them that was married, that was straight, in quotation marks, married and straight. And they all went out to the bar and they're all drinking. And then Carlos says, like, they're drinking and the guy's kind of flirting with him. Few more drinks, the guy and him start making out, the married guy that's straight. Few more drinks, and then Carlos says to the guy, and this is where I got the joke from, but Carlos said to the guy, like,
Pablo said to Pablo. Let's be very clear here. Pablo said to the guy, I ain't got nothing to do with this.
Pablo, fuck.
I ain't got nothing to do with this. Yeah, that's on y'all. Right. Thank you, Victoria. Pablo.
Oh, two Spanish names. I mixed up this fucking.
Maybe you do need that nap after all, because I ain't got nothing to do with it.
All right, so Pablo, I was about to say, everybody in the comments, what? Right. Speaking of down low.
Right. This ain't my coming out party. I'm good. I'm
sorry, my buddy Pablo. So a few more drinks. And Pablo says this, quote, straight guy that's married, he goes, do you want to come home with me? And the guy says yes. And then Pablo says to the guy, okay, just so you know, if you come home with me, we're going to fuck. And the guy just goes, oh, yeah, I know. And like, that's where I got the joke where I was like that. I could never do that as a straight dude saying to a chick. Like, I might be okay being like, hey, do you want to come home with me? But if she says yes, then I'm just going to shut the fuck up. Okay, we're good. I would never have the confidence to be like, okay, just so you know, if you come home with me, we're gonna get this. Like, what, dude? But I was like, that is fucking. I told Pablo, Jesus Christ, I told him that I know. I go, that's fucking wild. That it's just that blunt, and
Oh
the
yeah,
guy was just like, "Oh yeah, cool, that's cool, man." Fucking
I know
what?
what this is.
Uh,
Yeah, no,
and
that is crazy. Yeah, but that is the world that they live in. But like you said, I could never do that as a straight man. I would feel a ways about it. And here's the thing: I've always actually wanted to do that just to see, Like
oh
you
yeah.
know what's gonna happen. You go home, you go get this.
Yeah. I would I don't know if Victoria remembers. I think I did it a few times at the parlor where we worked together, but I said that I would be like, okay, just so you know, like you can maybe I don't know. Like I'm just I wouldn't have the confidence, but especially
No,
now in this oh really? Oh,
right,
it's just
right.
assuming.
That,
Fucking
that, that is you took the words right out of my mouth. That is definitely assuming the sale. And I know you as a salesman, you're supposed to be able to assume the sale, but that's some next level right there.
That's like Victoria remembers it. Fuck, it's so crazy. Okay. Do you believe a potential mate should be tested to determine if they are, quote, worthy enough? See picture. Oh, okay. So we got this picture. I'll read this. This is Jeremiah Fly.
Jeremiah Fly.
And he said, I took this female out to eat about 2 weeks ago and I tested her. Oh boy. We ordered our food and had a nice time just talking over food and getting to know each other. I'm not going to front. I was feeling shorty. Should I fucking read? I'm reading it so white. I was feeling shorty, and not just because she was beautiful. Her mindset is what got me. Cool, I got you. But when we was done eating, and I asked for the bill, the lady came back with it. I said, "Damn, I left my wallet at home. You think you can pay for the food, and I will give you the money back when I get home." She just got up and left. All I could do was laugh and shake my head. But I goes in my pocket, pays for the bill, and leave a $10 tip. Yeah, interesting that you mentioned that it was a $10 tip.
Right.
Two people's meals. Okay. Uh, the lady
Right.
said thank you, and you are a very smart man. Sometimes you have to test them to see if they are the one or not. I never spoke to her after that. And then the question we had was, do you believe a potential mate should be tested to determine if they are worthy enough? I would never do that. Me personally, we're both kind of old school. Like, I mean, I always say I was raised by my grandparents and stuff. If I asked her out, I get that he could pay for it, and he was just testing her. He didn't say like if she goes, okay, cool, I'll pay for it. If he didn't never said if he was going to be like, oh, okay, no, I was just testing you. Here, let me pay for it or what. I mean, to me, it seems like childish shit. It's like,
Very much so.
I'm like, do you like her or not? Okay, cool. It's I don't know. I'm trying to find words to explain like what I'm thinking of that. I would never do that. What
Because
about you?
here's the question: what's your end game? Like what did you really expect from that woman to do? And if she does pay for it, then what do you think now? Like what do you think of her now? Like what does that mean?
Right.
So it's very childish, childish, immature, all the words you can use for that because it doesn't make sense. If you're going out to have a good night and you're saying you're having a good night, then why ruin that with this test? That's stupid.
Victoria said, if a man twats me, then he has a vagina. I think is what you're trying to say, Victoria. That'd be a woman. If he tests you. She said, if a man tests me, I'm saying bye-bye. I'm not in school anymore. Yeah. And the funny thing is, what if that lady said, oh, okay, no problem, pays for it. And then he's like, oh, fuck, she's the one. She really, and then he goes to pay her back and she just goes, don't worry about it. That was kind of my test, that you're
Right.
irresponsible. You don't bring your wallet on a date that you
Right.
asked me out on, so you fucking not thinking ahead.
And now he's calling her out her name and all kinds of stuff because she didn't want to be with him. It's just the cycle of foolishness.
Yeah. Sandy said, if a man asks me to pay, I likely will, and he won't hear from me again. Yeah, it's just it's like it's starting off a relationship or a potential relationship with games and like testing. I mean, I'm trying. I've never, like with Angel, I've never done anything with the mentality of like, I'm going to test her. I'm going to see how she reacts. That's I mean, it's disingenuous. It's like, what is your point of the date? That's just yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I would never do
No.
that.
That's it. No, I mean it's a if you're trying to get to know somebody and you really want to genuinely know them, then you take it for face value, and then you let the rest of the rest of it work itself out to see if a person is quote unquote worthy or not after y'all been out a couple of times. But this is the first date. You're doing this on the first date, okay? So it's about to be a bunch of games going on with that dude. With anybody he dates, and then he's going to claim that that woman is not good enough based off of these random ass tests that they don't even know they're being tested for. With so it's a bunch of foolishness.
Yeah, no. Do you? I mean, and is there other tests you have for other things too?
Right.
Like I'm gonna test her tonight. I'm gonna be like, hey, let's do anal. I was just fucking around. I was just testing you. I was just testing you. Just
Well,
did.
you did it before. Yeah. Okay. All right. Man.
Yeah, that's dumb shit to me. I'm like, why would you? You're gonna. I hate the term test too, like giving somebody a test. I'm not your fucking teacher, and you're not a student, and we're adults. So, but I was gonna say, like, you're gonna learn all that shit about the kind of person they are as you get to know them. Like
Absolutely.
their character and everything, and also and building trust, which you're not going to build trust by presenting a horseshit lying test at the beginning, in my opinion. So fucking fuck all that is my answer to all that.
I guess a mental test for me would be if we are out, and it's not even a test. It would just indicate to me what type of woman I have if we were out after several dates. Because like you said, if I asked the first time, if I ask any time, I'm expecting to pay. That's just the mentality I have. If she was to be like, hey, no, I got it this time, then I'm gonna be like, oh shit, this is some next level woman right here that understands and is like, I'm willing to jump in whenever I can to do something nice for you. So yeah, that's a
100%, and it means even more because they weren't propositioned with a test.
Right.
They did, like Angel does that all the time. She'll say like we'll go to the movies or whatever, and like, if I'm going to pay, sometimes she'll go, no, I got it. I'm doing it tonight. I'm treating you tonight or whatever. And we're like, all right, then like, and I mean, that's, to me, that's how a relationship is, it's is, and yeah, no, or I mean, it's just little things too. Like she'll, even though I can't really eat now, but she'll, she comes home on lunch and she's like, oh, I stopped and I got something. I picked you up some nuggets or whatever. And I'm like, I can't eat it. But yeah, I mean, that would mean so much more. And that not getting tricked into a test, somebody like again, because like you said, we always expect that we're paying or whatever. And for somebody to be like, no, put your shit away, I'm doing it tonight. You're like, ooh, shit.
Right.
You feel like a pretty girl. What up, Sanders? I had to give you a shout out to Sanders in the
I
chat.
I had a homie do me like that one time. We
Wait, what? Is this like a Pablo story?
No. This is not remotely that. He was just we went to go grab something to eat. And we got to the line. And again, I'm not thinking of him. I'm like, shoot, I'm going to order mine. And he was like, he ordered his. And he was like, yeah, I ain't got no money. I was like, why did you just say that?
Like, I feel like, wait, okay, hold on. All right, hold on. Was it this Jeremiah Fly? Wait, okay, I want to make sure.
Because he ordered first.
And yeah, that's what like, that's what I was going to get at. So
yeah, he ordered first.
He went up there knowing he didn't have money and ordered. No, okay, like, and I'm all for, you know how we both are. Like we're both the same. Like, and I've always said, if I got it, you got it, we got it, whatever. Like I would be totally fine if we're going to whatever fucking Chipotle, and as we're walking in, if you would be like, hey man, I don't got any money right now. Can you spot me? Or if you were just like, I'm not gonna get anything because I'm short right now. Then I'd be like, I got you, whatever, right. No problem. But to just fucking, yeah, I'm gonna get let me get 7 of those, 3 of those, and let me get a large drink. And then as you're walking by him to order, he just goes, I ain't got no money.
That's exactly what happened. He was ordering off the it was fast food joint. We had a fast food joint. He went up there, he made his order. Then he looked back at me, he's like, "Oh man, you getting something?" And I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'll just give him the money. I guess we're just gonna keep it on one thing. I'll give him the money. Or vice versa. And then I ordered, and he was like, "Yeah, I ain't got no money." And I was like, could you not have said that before we got to the counter? I mean, and you ordered all this stuff? Like, okay.
And it's like, yeah, sometimes I don't know how people's minds work. Or things to me that are just common sense. It blows me away like that. To me, it's just common sense to either like say, hey, I'll go with you and I'll go in there with you and we'll chill. But I don't got any money. I can't afford right now to buy anything, or I don't understand not mentioning that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I to this day I won't forget it because and we still mad, cool. But I was just like, that's just something that stuck in my head. I was like, well, why did you do that? Like, why did you feel the need to do that? Because I would have taken care of it anyway. But yeah, here we are. So.
All right. I think it's time that we got everybody in here. Are you ready? We have first let me get a little like and subscribe, a little click there down below there. And then Sandy, hold on, let me get Sandy's comment. My friend always tells me in advance and I'll always get their back. Yeah, exactly. And vice versa. Like if I'm short, I'll if we're going to the movie or something, or I would tell Carlos to be like, oh, I'm short right now or whatever. And Carlos would be like, I got you or whatever. Okay, I want to make sure. Okay, is everybody ready for breaking news update on Carlos Anthony's stalker?
Hilarious. And then you highlighted me. Yeah. So last week, I'm coming back to the complex, and I said I got to run by the office real quick. So of course, who do I run into? The stalker. And so I'm thinking I'm gonna have, because let me give the back date again. Remember, she said never to talk to me again. That was the last bit of conversation we had. Never talk to me again. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna speak and just again being cordial and keep it moving. So she stops me this time. She's like, "Hey, so I was gonna stop by your place anyway and apologize." And I'm thinking she's about to apologize for the shit,
her crazy shit. Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, what's up?" Yeah, we had a party the other night, and so it was really getting loud, and I thought you may have heard. I was like, so now I'm irritated because I'm like, okay, you didn't want to talk about that. So I was like, all right, cool. I didn't hear nothing, so I'm about to walk off. She was like, yeah. Then the other night, I got choked out.
You were like, Wait, are you doing jujitsu now?
I was like, well, now I'm interested. Go on. So apparently she had a roommate for a little while, and her roommate choked her the fuck out to the point where they almost had to have to call the cops. So I was like, oh, that's the most interesting story I've heard. So fast forward after that, I was like, all right, well, we cool. I don't care nothing about none of that. So then Sunday, she calls me from a random number. It's like, hey, so what you doing? I was like,
when at first, okay, so it's a random number. You don't recognize the number. It's not saved
I got
under
the
her
other
name.
number blocked.
Got you. So when you answer it and she starts talking, do you immediately know it's her, or are you like,
I'm like,
sorry, who's this?
What's up? Like that's how I'm like, yeah. What number is this? Oh, I got a new number, so I wanted to make sure you had it. I said, well, what?
You're like, I have it to block. Yes.
Right? What do I need it for? So she starts inviting me over to food and stuff like that. But I'm also again like, did you not say for us never to talk again? But I'm also under the impression like, okay, well, you still not going to address that conversation that got us to this point. But she also before she showed me she got a Ring camera in which I could see the Ring camera. So she was like, yeah, I can see when you walk past my door. I was like, you mean walking straight past the door to go to my unit? Like, it's like I'm.
She's like, I liked you, so I put a ring on it.
Oh yeah, on her door. So let's fast forward to Sunday. I had a little company Sunday. So
well, okay.
So I had a little company Sunday. I was like, okay, so I purposely, and I had already told this girl about the situation just in case. Again, I don't, because that was the end of the Sunday morning conversation. She was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come knock on your door later on," and I was like, "Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't knock on my door." So
This ain't
I
Three's company.
purposely, huh?
This ain't Three's company. Come on,
No,
knock
it
on
ain't.
my
So
door.
I purposely walked the long way with this girl so that we could walk past the Ring camera to be like, okay, this dude now he's bringing somebody over to his place. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, now we're gonna find out if this chick is really batshit crazy.
Right.
Because if you knock on my door now, after you seeing that there was a woman going to my unit, then you batshit crazy. So the whole time my company was here, I was like, I was waiting on that knock at the door. Didn't happen. But as we leaving, who do we see?
Was that awkward? I mean, not for you, but
no, I mean, because she was there, she just happened to be in the mailbox, so we had to literally walk right past her.
Good.
And I was like, I even got loud. I started talking louder because I wanted to. You know it. You can tell when somebody's there. So I know she saw us for a fact. It was funny. We got outside the door. The girl was like, "Wouldn't it be funny if that was her?" And I was like, "Oh, it was."
So, okay. Is there more to it?
Well, she called yesterday. What's today? My days are thrown off. Which again, this is how I know you're a fucking weirdo, because I'm like, not only did you see I had company, but you still gonna call the day after and invite me over. I got some friends coming over to my house. Don't you want to come over and hang out with my friends? I was like, oh yeah, you just reminded me. I gotta block this number too.
Yeah, exactly. Victoria had said you should do Mission Impossible moves when you pass the door to make it obvious that you don't want to be seen. And
I should, because she showed me the camera.
Sandy said this chick done expanded her zone so she can see you. That's wild. Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you, because she showed me the picture. She's like, see, I can see the whole hallway almost down to your unit, to where you live. Because she showed me the maintenance guys in the hallway, and she does have this wide vein. There's no reason it should be that wide, like, or that go that far. But she can damn near see just where the stairwell is. And so when I come in, now I go up the stairwell and I just cut the corner so you can't see me. But I'm like, yeah, this chick is bad shit crazy.
But and that's like, and then and that's been another update on Carlos Anthony Stalker.
But I was like, when she saw us leaving, I was thinking, okay, well, again, that'll put the nail in the coffin. So, but why would you call me the day after? I know you saw. No.
So I think the question everybody's wanting to know is, so what's with the girl? Is this something potential? Is it just a friend, an old friend that's
this is
to get you out of the dry spell?
This is somebody who I don't even know how to word this.
And if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too.
No, that's cool. I just got to make sure I word it carefully, because she's out in these public streets too. This is someone that I've known, and it's always been some type of little back and forth. And so she was like, "Hey, what you doing today? Mind if I come over?" I was like, "Cool."
Was this like your first date, so to speak?
It wasn't no date. Yeah, it wasn't no date. She was just hanging. She was just hanging out, and shit almost went down. But then I was like, "Nah, I don't." Again, but then she said that, she was like, "I don't really know if I really want to do anything." She said, because you apparently you have. She's like, her words, not mine. She was like, apparently you must have some magic peen or something, because. But I think I'm gonna start falling in love or something. I don't want to do.
Where did she hear that? Is she a listener? Is she in the chat?
No, because I told her about the stalker. I told her about this chick. She was like, "Well, why the fuck was she moving?" She's like, "Oh, it's like that." So I was like, "No, just trust me."
It's so funny too how many times you're just like, "No, I mean, that wasn't even my best performance."
It was not. It was not. It was not.
Sandy said she's psycho. I don't want my ring going off for nothing beyond my front door.
I mean, goodness, like why would you? And first of all, I don't. Well, I guess I could understand why you put it in an apartment complex, but I guess it's a high traffic area, so your Ring camera has to be constantly going off.
Dude, I actually I'm gonna put it for a topic on the next one. We'll do a whole episode on like stalker stories.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put that in our notes for the next episode. And with that, let's get our plugs in and wrap it up. That's the motto here at the Love in Black and White. If you're out in these streets, wrap it up. All right,
out in these streets.
Stupid. All right, what do you got coming up?
You and I about to go hit the open mic again at Wise Guys, and then I believe I'm going to do some time at Comedy and Cocktails tomorrow potentially, and then we are in Bakersfield, California. You and I on Saturday. Then next week, got a light week before Phoenix and Atlanta, still tentatively.
Yeah. Yes, like Carlos said, we will be in Bakersfield, California this Saturday, 8 p.m. at the Well Comedy Club. I think it's both of our first times doing it. It's my first time doing it. I think yours too, Carlos. You haven't done the Well before. Yeah, it's our first time doing it. So looking forward to that. The 23rd, I will be in Fair Oaks, California, one-nighter, doing a clean show at Comedy Under the Stars. You can go to bigirishj.com for tickets. Might pick up some stuff during the week here in Vegas, but my calendar is always updated at bigirishj.com. And until next week, thanks for everybody for tuning in. And we'll keep trying to put the love back in. You're right.
Send those questions. Questions.
Yeah. lbwpod@gmail.com. lbwpod@gmail.com. And until next week, let's take you out on a little